Is your Scrum team stuck in a frustrating cycle of making the same mistake sprint after sprint? You know the feeling. You identify issues in your retrospective, promise to fix them, but somehow they keep coming back like a bad penny. How many times have you walked out of a retro thinking, we nailed it, only to see the same problems next sprint? Stick around to learn how to stop the replay of the same mistakes. In this video, I'm going to reveal the hidden cycle within Scrum that experienced teams use to break this pattern for good. It's called PDCA and it's built right into Scrum. It's been right in front of you the whole time, but once you see how it works, you will never view your sprints the same way again. The secret lies in understanding what drives that transformation. Plan, Do, Check, Act, or PDCA is a simple but powerful model for improvement that actually embedded within Scrum's framework. Think of PDCA as the cycle in a car engine. Scrum events are the pistons converting fuel, your ideas, into forward motion, continuous improvement. Most teams focus only on the doing part of Scrum and neglect the improvement cycle, which is why they keep hitting the same walls. Let's break this down. The plan phase maps directly to sprint planning and product backlog refinement. During sprint planning, your team collaboratively defines a sprint goal and selects product backlog items to achieve that goal, essentially creating a plan for the upcoming sprint. Product backlog refinement ensures you have a well-understood prioritized list of potential work for future sprints. This is where you set yourself up for success or failure. The do phase corresponds to the sprint execution and daily scrums. Ever wondered how that daily stand-up can actually prevent tomorrow's fires? That's PDCA in action. Your developer works to create a potential releasable increment, while the daily scrum allows everyone to synchronize activities, assess progress towards the sprint goal, and adjust their plan for the next 24 hours. The check phase aligns with sprint reviews and progress monitoring. This is a critical moment where most teams miss learning opportunities. During the sprint review, you inspect the increment with stakeholders and gather feedback. Skipping a thorough review means you are steering blind, no chance to correct course until it's too late. You are assessing whether your team is on the right track in terms of delivering value and meet the sprint goal. The act phase is embodied in the sprint retrospective. This isn't just talking about improvements, but commitments to specific actions. Your team identifies what went well, what could be improved, and creates a plan for implementing these improvements in the next sprints. Use a simple retro action item tracker to ensure follow through and measure the impact of your changes. When any part of this cycle breaks down, teams get stuck in a loop of repeating mistakes. Poor sprint planning leads to scope creep and missed commitments. Failing to inspect the increment thoroughly or neglecting to implement retrospective improvements causes the same issues to resurface. Understanding this hidden PDCA cycle within Scrum reveals why you keep facing the same problems and provides the framework to break free. But knowing this framework is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you implement these changes systematically. Focus on two critical connection points that will give you the biggest impact. Start with the sprint planning by asking your team, what did we learn from our last sprint that should influence our planning today? The simple question connects the act phase to the new planning. Instead of jumping straight into story point estimates, spend time reviewing the action items from your previous retrospective. Imagine you planned to fix technical debt last sprint but forgot to assign an owner. By asking who's accountable in the planning, you close that gap instantly. Did you commit to reduce technical debt? Plan specific tasks for it. Did you identify communication gaps for finished work? Adjust your definition of done accordingly. During daily scrums, shift your focus from status updates to adapting the plan based on what you've learned. Ask, what did we learn yesterday that changes our plan today? Your team should discuss what they discovered in the last 24 hours and adjust their approach to the sprint accordingly. This strengthens the do-check connections and keeps your team responsive to emergent challenges. Transform your retrospectives by tracking action items with specific owners and due dates, then reviewing their impact in the next sprint. This closes the loop between act and plan. Use a simple spreadsheet to track action items, owners, completion status, and deadlines. Review the impact of past actions to determine whether your efforts have been successful. The most common breakdown occurs between check and act. Teams identify issues but don't create concrete, measurable improvement actions. For example, your team might identify that testing is slow during the sprint review, but if you don't define specific action like investigate automated testing tools, the problem will persist. By consciously connecting each Scrum event to its PDCA phase, you create a continuous improvement engine. The power isn't in doing anything new, it's in understanding the purpose behind what you're already doing and making it intentional. This thematic approach transforms how your team learns from experience. Now you have the framework to stop repeating the same mistakes sprint after sprint. The hidden PDCA cycle in Scrum isn't just a concept. It's the engine that powers continuous improvement and prevents your team from getting stuck. Start with your next sprint retrospective. Make sure you not only identify issues, but create specific measurable actions that connect directly to your next sprint planning. Transform vague insights like communication needs improvement to concrete actions like implementing a daily 15-minute stand-up check-in with a product owner. Teams that are growing aren't chasing new tricks. They are mastering feedback and acting on it sprint after sprint. Let me know in the comments which PDCA phase you struggle with most. Planning, doing, checking, or acting. If you found this useful, hit subscribe for conscious Scrum tips that actually stick.